if she's right, she thinks that there's going to be a convergence in. She kind of peers over at Celica's notes, which, looking at it, essentially looks like Celica's wrote is like on the side while doing all her like normal diplomatic and like noble work. Just a small thesis on the side as well.
Celica, you need to sleep.
Does she?
Doesn't count.
Does she need to sleep?
Yes.
How do you know she's not become immune to sleep?
That's magical sleep. She's an elf. I already know that.
Maybe she become immune to normal sleep.
She's
Maybe
not
she only needs to rest and recover other spells. But it's about after looking over for a bit. The 30th day of Aradus next year.
Next year.
That's what our calculations say.
Oh, so it's not this summer. It's next summer.
That's. She kind of looks at the compendium with Ajador, then at Celica's notes. It's odd though because the book's making it seem like it's coming soon.
Yeah.
But that doesn't line up with how the power has been merging.
Ooh.
You should have an entire year's worth of time and a bit.
I have an idea then. Maybe the natural forces say that it's supposed to happen then, but whoever we're up against is trying to make it happen a bit earlier. Which, then again, though, they did.
What convergence is this referring to? Because, yes, there are some convergences that in the past have been manipulated, but it's not often. I mean, what do these take,
Celica believes that there is. Well, she's not really explained all the details, but she believes that the resting place of this phoenix, well, it's not actually on the material plane.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's within an isolated pocket of the plane of air.
That also explains Skydor.
An isolated pocket which, well, given no one has a key to it, is hard to access unless it's right pushed up against our plane. Which by her own calculation shouldn't be for, if she's got, assuming Celica's not made a mistake, and she's not normally a woman who would, we'd have more than a year before that happened.
You said if they don't have a key to it, it's hard to open unless it's right near.
Well, yes, but as far as we can tell, no one's made an attuned rod for the place, and it's hard to do so when you're not actually on the plane.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something a bit more vague than literally a rod.
Well, all kinds of planar transportation require one of two things: for you either to be able to physically find the location in a transient plane, which is, well, near impossible, or it requires you having an object attuned to that plane, which is usually a rod.
I got one question.
Yeah.
This phoenix, it's fought something, yes?
Looking at through everything, it's fought something quite powerful, yeah.
Fights are not generally very clean, and it is not likely that the entire body was recovered. Perhaps there's like a feather or something that would be able to be attuned to its body and thus the plane.
It wouldn't attune to the plane itself, it would only attune to the phoenix.
It would still give someone a head start on trying to find it.
Perhaps divinarily, but even then.
Would Longthorn have ever actually managed to find the plane where the Phoenix rests?
It seems, according to Celica's notes here, that he knew what plane it might have been on, but he's never been able to find it. And that was with years of searching. It seems the location was created possibly by the Phoenix itself as a place to hide.
Oh, cool. If that's the case, then probably there isn't anyone around who could have a thing attuned to it. Attuned to wherever it made then.
That's the thought, meaning you would need to essentially do a ritual on the day it's closest to basically just brute force your way in.
Right, yeah, and that would be the thing that the book said with the Blood of Kings and the Song of Storms. Sounds like a ritual, right?
Certainly sounds like the basis for a ritual, though we would need way more information than that.
Yeah, I know. It's be so vague.
Welcome to divination, I guess.
Apparently. It was never my favorite of the magical schools.
Yeah, I like using the very direct divination.
If we're to assume, though, that our enemies know what they're talking about,
I think it's safe to assume.
We'll assume we've got the Blood of Kings handled then.
Hopefully.
Hey, we've recovered the Dracos, who we firmly believe were part of this.
Somehow, though we'd still need to figure out how, but that's something at least. I don't know if it's just Imperial blood that's needed or what, but...
It could have something to do with the Lich, since the Lich, from what we learned, wasn't it supposed to be an old king? An old Imperial king?
Possibly. We'd have to look into that. Maybe the Phoenix fought the Lich at some point.
Ooh, maybe.
Just speculating the connection here, that's all.
Yeah. And from what I remember, the old Locke was quite eager to get out of there with Reiji, so...
I still find it difficult to actually know what we should be doing without knowing anything more about this phoenix.
It's not the easiest task. I've got some information more, I think, on the Phoenix, but it's still limited.
Yeah, that's true.
That said, though, looking over all this, I've got some suggestions for places you could look.
Mhm.
One of them might be just going to the source of all prophecies itself, Providence.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
If there's a prophecy about it, the ancient scrolls up there will know about them. The actually getting up there is a different matter, given, well, requests for it are rarely taken. So it'll take quite a bit of pushing to get up there, or magical skill.
Is it
Why
like
do I get the feeling that if we in particular push, it will give?
But that's one thought at least. The High Oracle up there is a master seer. They might know. They might tell you more about what's going on.
They might know we're coming up there.
Knowing things like this, of all the old songs, something like a letter carried by a bird from the Oracle themselves will probably fly in right about now.
I feel like you're trying to tempt me a bit too much, Maya.
No, I really do not want to go up there.
Afraid of heights?
It seems to run in the family.
There's a song of storms of some kind that needs to be figured out. Whatever that.
I think I might have an idea. You know of Ellenwind, right?
The island where it never stops raining.
It's not that bad. Native points to herself. It's not that bad. But the royal family there is renowned for their ability to sing storms into existence. They've been using it to protect the island for centuries now.
Well, I don't know if it would be that literal, but it's a good place to start, I guess.
And that I've already sort of got us talked to some old friends and got us some boat tickets whenever we need to go.
I have to ask, for the Temple of Providence, can anyone just sort of arrive, and just no one does to simply do the difficulty to get there, or is it closed?
In theory, anyone who can get there has been allowed to get there. It's hard to just breach onto an island when the person who controls it can see the future. But in practice, I think it is mostly just the difficulty that most people have no way to get up there. Even teleportation magic tends to fail.
So I couldn't just fly.
It's incredibly far up and incredibly fast moving.
Oh,
I
good.
don't think we're fast enough, Academy.
Okay, I'm not used to open flying, so.
Unless the city itself decided to slow down for you, it'd be difficult.
Still,
Could assume on this prophecy, she kind of looks back to it. Steel and thunder, I presume that's your foe we're dealing with.
yeah. The one who commands thunder, yeah.
And the sky door being the actual access point to the plane of air.
That would make sense, yes.
Should we assume eternal temples cloud high is whatever's in the plane of air? Seems fitting.
I mean, maybe it's talking about Providence in that case.
Possibly, but I don't see how that's going to work in this case.
Everlight Skies does feel like it applies to the plane of air. It's nothing but the sky.
Right. So it could be a subdomain within the domain of air, and there's like a door on Providence. I hope.
Maybe.
Regardless, though, looking into either of these parts would probably be a good starting point.
Do we know if the Phoenix was before or after the Demon Wars?
I mean, it existed much long before then.
Well, when did it go away?
During.
Well, I do know someone who was there.
It's a possibility if you've got information on that they might be able to shed more insight.
You know, a lot of very, very powerful spirits tend to know each other.
Something for us to look into. Moreover, though, right now, I'll have to check this with Celica, but I presume for the moment that you actually aren't being rushed now.
No, I can't say.
That said, of course, our enemies were probably still up to something, skulking around, preparing themselves.
Definitely.
Especially
Especially after what we
given-
just did.
Yes, given what you've done already, they may be intending to strike at all of you.
I do
I
know
would not be
this.
surprised.
And I get the sense as well that they have their own form of prophecy they're reading from.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
That said, the patron of said prophecy, I have no clue.
Well, that would be the worm. So
Possibly. Is it a creature that can read the future?
I don't know.
The worm might have friends.
That could be your other place to start looking. Trying to look into what enemies' activities. Head them off before they can get anything done.
I think our main issue in that regards was, well, they're just very not well known over here.
They're not well known, but things can be done. Divinations, spies. We'll have to flush them out one way or another. Oh, speaking of, by the way,
Oh, okay.
Flushing?
I got this. As she holds out what's the tiniest letter you've ever seen. The envelope is smaller than a post-it note.
Academy reaches out for it.
It is for you.
Oh, okay, cool. Kenny will take it and slowly open it up. Very careful not to rip any of the paper. Open it up and
It's seemingly a note from a very small pixie.
oh,
It's mostly a note just saying, mostly saying hi and that they're a fan of you. Basically, fan mail from a pixie.
aw,
They couldn't really fit much more on because it's the size of a post-it note, basically. But
right. Oh, this is really sweet. It's cute.
I had one leave. I had someone leave at my window a while back.
Aw,
Well, actually leave at Selika's window, but same purpose.
okay. I know I'm gone a lot, but I was just here for a week. You know, you can come talk to me.
No, they left it. They left it a while back when you were away.
Mm,
Now I don't tend to have all of you in my office too often.
that's true. We tend to be gone a lot.
Other than that, I've also been asked by Selika to inform you that the elves have gone very quiet again.
Hmm.
There's been no fighting though, which I suppose is a good thing.
Hmm.
Good or bad? I suppose. Well, actually, look, as the Felix the Academy, probably bad.
Probably bad.
Well, remember what you told us about?
Yeah, I do. Sibella.
I do have one quick question for you though. Actually,
Oh,
this passage in here, the Rite of Icy Shadow. When did this appear?
Oh yeah, that.
When we dealt with the chitin a couple of months back, the compendium actually showed us a right to seal it back, seal it away properly for once. Afterwards, this entry appeared within.
It was a particularly powerful entity, wasn't it?
Can't
Yes,
really
it
tell,
stabbed us a
yeah.
lot.
It had relations to a lycanthropic curse, specifically the werebear curse.
I thought so. There's a section in here that was bothering me. Aegis Sundered.
Oh yeah,
Mm,
that one. Right.
I couldn't find a match for that anywhere.
Yeah, we
Are
don't really have
you-
an idea either.
But
I
given
imagine it has something to do with the curse of aging and de-aging going around.
she raised an eyebrow, possibly. The main thing that comes to mind for me though is, if nothing else, it appears that the dear creator of this book decided to add safeguards into it to be able to seal away, well, use his knowledge of abjuration to seal away creatures that should have been banished long ago. And if it's able to absorb power from them, all the better. It sounds like you're going to need that. So if you're really struggling, might be an option to also consider. If you can find a way to increase your power before they do.
I will admit it is. We have come across a lot of struggle.
Anyway, with that said, she's going to close the compendium. You can take it back. I've also been told, though, that all of you severely need a break.
They will never admit it, but a lot of the mortals here are looking very, very tired.
Yeah, it has been a while.
I feel like even your vacations need vacations.
You
Yeah.
have no idea.
It's always, I don't know, 5 days of fun and then something horrible goes wrong.
You guys get 5 days?
I can't make you do relaxing things, but if I can at least suggest, try picking up something first that doesn't involve you having to go and fight things.
You know what? I'm going to take that suggestion straight to the Silver Stars about a potential mithril mine.
Well, that's something at least. Just
Does that really count as relaxation?
I mean, at least she's not getting more scars.
It doesn't involve getting ourselves potentially killed, and I need time to consider some things.
Backing up a little bit, Calorus, I wouldn't call that event a disaster. We didn't go that bad.
I didn't say it was a disaster.
You just, you said it wasn't fun. So, just, okay.
We also may be talking about different events.
I think we might be.
Also, that's the end of what Selika asked me to say to all of you.
Hmm.
That said, though, if any of you need help with your equipment during all these matters, as much as I suggest that you shouldn't fight things for a little while and just relax, I know you're going to break out into a fight at some point.
We don't mean to. It just happens upon us, and now Locke's kind of really looking at us. So
It
I
is
can't-
the path of life I have chosen.
I can't do anything for the items that were gifted to you, nor similar powerful relics, but if you have anything small that you need, at least some basic enchantments on, basic armor or anything like that needs magic on it, please let me know. I'm willing to try, and I know I'm not a skilled artificer, but I can do some basic enhancement work.
Maya recently got her mace pilfered.
I could do with a new weapon, actually.
As Sabel is offering to as a service Sabel will offer from now on, is the ability to place enhancement bonuses on weapons and armor. or onto basic items like rings of protection, cloaks of resistance, that kind of stuff. Things that are simple +1, +2, +3, that kind of thing.
Cool.
Is that at
She
the
won't-
standard market cost?
Not quite.
Okay.
I'm gonna write it down in the chat for you.
Right, fair.
Grabby hands at clickers. Of course, you have enough saves. Stop it.
No,
You're an addict.
Like 3 of my class features work off me making a save. I want better saves.
I want better
Fair.
saves. My saves are trash.
Go talk to God or something. I don't know. Running away from it.
What's God done for me? He's not God. He's like, I don't know,
He,
basement
he
dweller.
is Ubidan. He is his own thing.
I got bestowed a boon by a god at some point early in the campaign. I'm good.
Also, literally, I'm already being given boons in the way of spellcasting levels.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm
That
gonna
is
say
kind of
being able to teleport is a pretty big boon.
Yeah,
I suppose.
her boon's kind of
I
our class
suppose.
features.
Like, I've already kind of worked out my deal there.
Well, go talk to another god.
Well,
Multi-level
so-
marketing. Come on, get your shit together.
I don't think the multi refers to me like double timing.
Oh, clearly you're not doing it right.
I
I wonder if she'll be able to mess with the weird collar and make it more useful. Really, I just mean making a greater magic fang collar, but you know.
mean, it would make sense.
That's basically like just increasing enhancement bonus. It's like with an amulet of mighty fists or something.
hmm
How much that'll cost? Shrug.
I mean, a lot, but it's fine.
Yeah, especially if it is similar to an amulet. Ugh. Or just
Could
permanency,
use a-
greater magic fang.
I could use like a belt of strength or con.
Yeah, same. I could really use a belt of dex now.
We have a way of getting you a belt of ducks.
Huh?
We have the catform choker.
Oh, right, yeah.
80% of market price.
Oh, neat.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Okay. Hooray.
Heroes discount. Yeah.
20%.
Yeah, she's only a basic enchanter,
good.
but she can do some. But for the very common items, she can craft them for you.
Nice.
We effectively get a 20% discount.
Yes.
Yeah, percent a pretty good discount as well on those kind of things. +3 isn't anything to sneeze at, expense-wise. It's
I
like
guess I could
9,000 gold.
also look into getting Hestia normal things for when she's not a giant dragon. And this is
Or,
useful for that.
or when you finish making the armor, she can then enchant the armor.
It's true.
Enchanting the
about
armor can be
that.
done overnight.
Mhm.
Yeah, for special enchantments, you're still going to have to get a different mage to do it because she's not.
Ah, right, yeah. There's no equivalencies that she can put on.
Yeah.
Literally just raw magic.
But she can do basic enchantments. Like she's a novice enchanter, but she has enchanting skills that she can offer.
Yay. That's nice.
Which at least means you don't have to travel far from home just for basic like arms and armor stuff.
Yeah, that's actually pretty important.
I do have a question.
Yes.
What are your research capabilities?
What was that?
What are your research capabilities?
I have agents, and I have quite a bit of access to rumors and libraries.
If I give you something, could you tell me about it?
I can try.
Cadme, with a big thunk, puts the old god's gauntlet on the table.
Oh. She kind of looks a bit disgusted at it for a moment, but takes a look.
It seems to be based on weird blood. It turns blood into stone to make a complete set of armor for the person who wears it.
Hmm.
It's also sentient, so be careful. It's not like bad sentient. It's pretty reasonable, but old curmudgeon-y.
It's an,
Kinda dwarf.
it's an item of the old dwarven empire. I believe of a city once called No, sorry, I'm going to butcher this. I'm not particularly good at my dwarven pronunciations. Trinsgard, I believe.
Trinsgard? Okay.
It was a very old dwarven settlement that no longer exists. It's now just a set of ruins inhabited by monsters. It was once apparently the seat of a dwarven empire, if you can believe that.
Well, it's very old and toxin whispers, and it is kind of grumpy. So
There was quite the strong dictatorship running the empire. Its kings had legions of loyal guards and servants, most of them dwarfs. Though there were a couple of particularly occasionally some of what they would have called the under races they used as well, halflings occasionally, a few gnomes. There was a few of my elven cousins who occasionally got even dragged into the mess, though they didn't tend to last long.
Well, I can tell you the gauntlet kind of feels lonely. I feel
Well,
like
I imagine it would. Everything it was ever built around is gone.
it's not like the general loneliness. It's like it's missing something loneliness. It feels incomplete.
Well, there are likely other items then. Other accoutrements for the guards, or possibly commanders who had this. Maybe priest actually looking at it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It gives me a slightly. It gives me the vibe of one of those dwarven ancestral priests.
It certainly is, yes. It
But
channels negative energy, but not in like an undead kind of way, more of in a tool to be used to protect the people.
right, I couldn't tell you much more than this, other than I can tell you where the stronghold was. I'll mark it on the map for the future for everyone.
Oh, and was that pre or post Phoenix death?
Much, much before.
Okay, I didn't know it was going to be a monster-filled ruin. Maybe it was still around. Maybe someone was just looking for it. I don't know. If it feels lonely, I kind of want to give it back to its family. Besides, just because you're something related to taters doesn't mean you should really, feel lonely all the time.
Fair.
Think that?
Nope, I didn't roll
the
the
red, the red dot, Valsgard.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it's up in orc and troll lands.
Derek. I
Yes.
feel like I asked someone about the dragon egg. Maybe it was Sibel. I swear to God, I asked someone about it.
You ask people to keep an ear out for to know more.
Okay.
So dark. I think the pink dot was for something.
Actually, yes, it was actually. I know what that exactly was.
Pretty sure I know what it was.
You asked me a question a little while back. That's where.
Yeah.
Yeah, Providence is right over it.
Actually, Providence should be there now.
Ah, okay.
Absolutely.
Still over the Elven lands, but it's getting close. Close to the Dwarven Mountains. We're getting close to Skyhold.
So it is.
Of all the places to potentially reach it from, Skyhold's probably one of the better ones.
That doesn't seem like a coincidence.
I mean, what the dwarfs consider high to the sky might not actually be that high to the sky.
This session is sponsored by inconveniently timed coincidences.
God damn it.
Oh dear.
The holds.
Yeah, I'd rather us go on holiday, particularly like as much as there might be important stuff on Ellenwind. I want to take us there for a holiday.
Out of character, I'm also informing you, though. By the way, you do actually have quite a bit of time on this. Like, you have time at the moment.
Okay,
We
cool.
just have to get there sometime.
Shiva really wants to learn about that dragon egg while she feels like she actually has some time where she can.
I mean,
So she would say we can go to Stormwing.
That sounds like a bad idea. We can go
Yeah.
down there, and then we can go see where the dragon egg was supposed to be located, and then we can go see the Augur of Night.
well, actually, the last update we had was someone's attempting to hide it, or hide it, and is trying to obscure its location.
And as it stands right now, the Augur of Night is still sealed right now because you can't access them until summer.
Yeah, it's early spring, so
Again, it'd be nice to go somewhere where we can get actually. Sybil, I really appreciate your discount. I really do, but we just don't have any.
And if that's the case, that's fine. I'm just offering my services if you require it.
Thank you so much.
I will extend those services as well, of course, to those working under you for now.
good. I bet B Team's probably got a bit more money than we do, so they might be coming to you for that once we tell them. Also,
Don't
maybe
tell-
our captain and everything.
And also, don't tell them that they have more money.
And don't tell them we called them B team.
Right.
What do you mean? We have invested our money into our land. That is where it is.
True enough.
Technically, I just realized I have enough money that if I wanted to with Reese, by the way, I could push his armor up to a second enhance bonus, so it would be 11 AC from his armor.
Nice.
I also don't mean to
All
alarm
of
you,
it.
but our keep doesn't feel. I feel like it's missing something. I don't know what. It still feels empty, kind of echoey.
Is it the dog?
I mean,
Does that echo a bit?
it does echo a bit with
Are
the
you
dogs.
looking for flags, banners, that kind of thing? Those are quite popular.
Those are, but
I think Cadme means something more spiritual, considering our fort is currently chock-a-block full of random plants.
yeah.
I mean, in fairness, yeah, you don't have any religious style buildings, so
We had a shrine.
Yeah,
Even
we've got a chapel.
there's a built-in shrine slash chapel, but I mean that's you sticking with the generic like built-in stuff.
right. It's spiritual, yes, but it's not. It lacks purpose. Even objects like having purpose.
What? So clearly, Academy needs an entire druidic grove built.
A keep should be defending something. I don't know. It's just
It's
something. I've been
defending your
done.
secrets.
Yeah,
We don't have
defending our
any
people.
secrets.
We do.
Do we?
We do, Academy. We're just this entire thing, and Adeline gestures in general to us talking to Sibel.
Oh, is this a secret?
It's a secret to most people, yes.
Oh,
There are certain people
Right.
that we have in on it, but
Uh,
most people, yes.
I'm just thinking Cadme's already posted it on Facebook.
should
Actually, she posted it on Facebook.
Yes.
should I not talk to the local baker about these things?
honestly, like it probably wouldn't be for the best, but he's a baker, so
He
he
tends to
probably
smile
doesn't
and
believe
nod.
you. Yeah, that's what I thought. But no, you probably shouldn't.
Ugh. I don't like having secrets.
It's more you don't want the hunter to know what you're up to.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
big thing.
he kind of does know what I'm up to.
I mean, not at all moment. And you don't want him to know if you're planning an attack against him before you do the attack, do you?
Maybe I'm not planning an attack against him.
But if you were, you wouldn't want to know.
Well, that'd be a different case.
Are you not planning an attack against him?
Not at the moment.
And there you go, at the moment.
But for all he knows, you are planning an attack.
It shouldn't be it should be obvious that I'm not.
But if the point is, if he doesn't know, he might spend time watching over his shoulder instead of actually doing.
Well, then he doesn't know me very well, and then that's actually.
That's actually a good thing.
How would you actually expect he knows you? He's trying to hunt you, not.
I think we should have a conversation with Locke.
Really?
Well, I mean, sure, we need to kill each other, yes, but I want to know who I'm killing.
He has a academy.
I think that's honestly a fair and noble cause. I do not think it will work well in your favor,
No, I don't think
but
so.
it's a noble cause.
And I mean, we are kind of actually learning about him.
Tea
Maybe
and
we-
death, everyone. Tea and
Maybe you
death.
should invite him to brunch. I hear humans like brunch.
While brunch is nice, yes, I'm not sure he would accept.
Oh, okay. Sylphs also like brunch. Okay.
Close enough to human.
Eh. Okay. While we're in this room and all together, what are we doing? Where are we going?
I mean, I think that's something that would require a bit more planning than just going, let's do this immediately.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As I said, I do have two places that she would put forth, but it's not fuck you, we're doing this. It's just I would like to do these things.
I think at this
mean-
point, we should probably just make a list.
Yes,
Okay.
probably.
Which?
So we have going to Elmwind.
Mm-hmm.
How do you spell that? Is that like Elm the person?
No.
E.
Okay, so not like Elm the person.
No.
So we have going to Elmwind, visiting Providence.
Providence sounds like a little bit of an endeavor.
Yeah, I think Providence isn't.
I mean, everything's sort of an endeavor.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on our distant thing. So
Yeah, but it's still something we're planning to do, so therefore it goes on the list.
Visiting Amaya's family.
just visiting Maya's family, visiting Shiva's mother.
Speaking of visiting Amaya's family, where was the Nexus again?
Yes, you have the option of visiting the Great Witches.
State Academy, don't know. I would probably have to return home.
Cadme just looks at Sibel.
What are you looking at me for?
I don't know. Are you a witch?
No.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
have we ever seen her familiar?
Not every witch has a familiar. Some
Exactly,
have
I mean,
I
you
don't
have
think
a-
Sibel sleeps on a bed of gold. We would have noticed by now.
No,
These
but there's
marks, you
also
know.
objects.
I mean, would we have noticed? I don't even know where her bedroom is.
Maybe she
Yeah,
doesn't
but, like,
sleep.
I think we should start from the beginning. Sibel, do you sleep?
It's not typical.
Told you.
Start from the beginning. Sibel, do you sleep?
That's not
saying.
gonna work for Cadme.
If you sleep on a bed of gold coins every night, you're gonna wake up with one of them lodged in you.
I mean, admittedly, I still kind of want to play the Worm Witch.
I do too, to be fair. I understand. Impractical as it is, I love it.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're not a witch, do you happen to know of a place called the Nexus where all the witches go?
I do not.
She can only do Sex Machina so many times, Cadme.
Unfortunately, you'd probably have to ask an actual witch that question.
I did, and she didn't know.
Then ask another witch. Or ask that witch's friends.
I could ask my witch's friends, which was what I was sort of suggesting before, Cadme.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you're aware I come from like a family of witches. Home
Loosely?
for me means go visit more witches.
And I regularly assume that most witches... You tend to be quite a communal lot, from what I know.
Yeah, we're more social than the wizards, at least.
It seems like every witch in town knows every other witch in town. It's ridiculous.
We're a very exclusive
If
club.
that's true, Astusa, you're very much isolation-y.
That's what you talk about. I have 2 apprentices. Also, I do
Two?
have a witch friend who I talk to regularly.
2!
Brought back from the life and the death.
Oh, that's actually true.
And technically, that one has a junior of their own.
Like, sure, I don't go home much, but I technically desecrated an icon to them, so that's
Is that a good thing?
no, that's very much a bad thing. That's why I don't go home much.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, technically, though, you could try to go to the meeting point of all witches. I don't know if you remember the name of that, but
I have it written down somewhere, more than likely.
a great nexus of hags.
Glimmervale.
Which, admittedly, going to a place of ancient magic and scholars of ancient magic is not a bad.
It's not if we can make sure that we're friendly to each other.
I mean, that usually just means bring an offering to them.
Am I forgetting anything from back?
I will say that
Uh,
because we are lacking in gold, we are not lacking in other things. I mean, who wants other things other than...
I mean, typically, of course, when it comes to hags, you've kind of really got three options for hags for what you can do to kind of appease them: sacrifices, which is probably not on your list, magic items, or ancient lore.
I mean, I have a bunch of stolen knowledge from basically every single endeavor.
The point is, those are typically the kinds of things you can give as a good offering to a hag. Is one of those.
Hemorrhage notes, I've got demonology notes, I've got notes for poison synthesis. Yeah, are we forgetting? Sure,
let's see. Other than that, the group, of course, does also, of course, you have a previous statement noticeable stuff like dealing with like the curse of the burden of time,
Yeah.
which you have currently one of three things checked with. You still have one more downtime action minimum this downtime.
Yeah, which
and given you actually currently don't have a press time limit, you can even take a third action without penalty if you wanted to.
Cool.
Perhaps just maybe spend an extra week lying down, which may not be a worst thing for Reese.
Yeah, that's actually
more
good.
rolls to try and recover.
Yeah. There's also the Augur of the Night.
It can't be done yet, but it's a thing. You could go to the mercenary camp and just do like heavy endurance training.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Everyone gains 3 hit points. All cohorts gain +1 experience towards leveling up.
Yep. We just finished up the Gilded Worm.
Yeah, I need to convert that to a tick, which I can do.
Yeah.
You haven't been given any new quests yet, though your allies might have them.
Yeah, we should go look through that.
Well, I did pretty much press as hard as I could on the Might Queen, and she didn't have anything for us to do. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is part of a thing for the players to decide exactly what the group wants to do as a whole. If the group wants basically more like written out like jobs added, I can do that.
I feel like I don't know. We have a lot of.
The point is, you already have a lot of stuff on your plates at this point, so
Yeah.
Let's start checking things off. Honestly,
we also just have a lot of.
I think the
you have a lot
first
of
thing we
loose ends
should
you can
do.
tie up, basically.
I think the first thing we should do is 2 weeks downtime.
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah,
you want to do 2 more weeks of downtime then for yourself.
Might as well.
Which is fine because your characters aren't being pressed for time at the moment. You're okay. There's nothing wrong with fast forwarding 2 weeks. Gives yourself 2 more actions to spend, which someone could spend on trying to do research if they wanted to. On anything, by the way. It doesn't have to be research in the Augur of Night. That one required, not Augur of Night, the Burden of Time. But it's, you can do research on anything in theory if you want to I want to learn about this subject. Okay.
DC 35 part of it is very high.
Is this not private?
No.
Is it not? I mean,
No, private.
I thought we just made a point of saying that this was actually in fact secret.
Not group
I think
private.
if there's one person we can trust, it's Sibel.
Not group private. Private.
Okay.
I also know that no one can eavesdrop into this room, just in case you were worried.
Isn't that's not it?
Academy just literally says something in your mind. Is this private?
Adling
invasive.
sort of thinks back. Not right now. Later.
On?
Yeah, I'm going to quickly go to the toilet. The group you guys can discuss this. Of course, we won't be doing too much more tonight. We're mostly going to basically just kind of figure out what kind of things the group wants to do, answer questions, and kind of plan out what basically our next arc as a group will be. It's going to be a much more chilled arc, though, regardless.
Yeah, fair.
Like, no matter what you do, it's going to be far slower pace, far calmer pace than what happened over at just like.
It's good.
Like, if you guys want to investigate the Dragon Egg, you can investigate the Dragon Egg. That could be the next quest. We need to figure out what the next quest will be.
Mm-hmm. Also, remember, like anyone else doing any research on the burden, places with good information can help you out with that a lot, including letting you take 20 and stuff like that.
So hit the libraries, people.
I don't think I need to advocate for it too much, but I really want to research the Dragon Egg because I'm concerned about that getting too far lost in a mess.
Yeah, that's
irrecoverable.
Yeah,
well, what I was gonna say is we have a bunch of weeks. I have a bunch of communions, Finn.
Yeah, that's true. With the communions, that would help.
And you're free, JMac, to throw as many communications as you want at me, basically.
That's a dangerous statement.
I mean, technically you only have it twice a week, so you have 12 questions, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
It's not dealing with our lovely halfling we had before, or my spirit dancer who gets 2 communes per day.
I'm not very great at thinking of questions that are applicable yes, no, or short answers. Very short answers.
So the point is, it's something the group has access to, and as a GM, I'll be happy to answer. If you're going to do that, put them in the planning chat or something, or put them somewhere that I can see them.
I do have one immediate thing. Which
actually, it's probably better if you just PM them, to be honest. But
fair enough. Because I don't know if anyone remembers, but way back I got the Rod of Attunes to the Plane of Shadow from Long State. I'm wondering if maybe that might have or something stashed away in a different transient plane.
Yeah, maybe that is key to a specific place generally.
And it was in his home.
Yeah.
the big question there is how the fuck do we get onto another plane?
Looks at Cadme.
Hire cleric.
Looks at Savell. What do you know about this?
She.
You know where we can find a cleric?
Well, I
I'm trying to
mean,
think, do we
if
go
we
on
want to
there?
I
go
was
to
more
another,
like thinking, you work for the Longthorns.
well, we happen to know someone who can hurdle people through time and space.
Mm,
Might we?
yeah, I
her.
understand that, but I'm a bit hesitant to be relying on her for all her
I mean,
sort of.
I will tell you, she came out of the rescuing us from a mountain ahead.
Then that's all the
Even
more
still.
reason because it's a big favor. That's
Well, I mean, not really. It's kind of just opening a portal and throwing you through.
That
still.
takes energy.
Yeah, it takes energy, and we tend to be in dangerous places, and that was a really dangerous place.
Well, I mean, it's not her problem if we get hurt. So
Also, we do need actually. I could use the fourth level spells cost. I might have a way of getting us home at least. I can't remember if Homeward Bound was a fourth level spell. But anyway, so we have a downtime actions first, of course. But for after that, so I don't have a very particularly strong preference that we should probably like. Do we want to aim for money first, or do we want to have hold first to Elmwind?
I think money would be.
I kind of need money to get my familiar back.
I think
Yeah.
money probably makes the most sense.
Yeah, let's try and get money, I think.
What does that entail?
Well, we have quite a few options for that. Bill's Guard itself will probably have shit in it. There's the like I mentioned earlier, there's that place we found when we were going dealing with the troll with the golems in it. That may have something.
Right, yeah, there is actually an entire dungeon underneath Helgus.
There's also the ancient. I mean, last time we did that, we got, but we can probably get around that a little bit now.
Yeah,
There's
there was
also the
there was a bunch of construct things. Like there was an area with a big sealed off constructy place.
was it
Oh,
constructs?
That was but that was not under Hellius. That was over
Isn't that
here.
Farhold?
Oh, was
Yeah, that was the whole troll thing.
No, it was neither of those.
Yeah, where was that? Because I remember it was something that whenever we went to rescue B team.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that
I thought it
here,
was.
but that was ghosts and shit, not constructs.
No, because I remember us running into a sort of sealed door thing.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
numbers
that was the
like
troll.
right here.
Yeah.
That was the troll. That was a rescue scheme.
Guarded by constructs.
Like
Yeah,
there was
there
a
were-
golem that shot a laser, and that was pretty much it. And then
Yeah,
we
it shot a
went,
laser
yeah,
at me after I
scary.
found the glove.
Yeah, and we left. Right. Yeah, we can go there and attempt to raid that.
There is also like we know there's like parts of Under Farhold which have shit in it, and that big monster thingy that is potentially something we could do. Surely there's some kind of bounty on it.
And there's also getting the mithril mine open because there's a lot of big fishes down there.
That's also true. And with the whole Lycia's family here, might be a good idea to get them sort of back on their feet in that sense because they kind of lost everything.
Or they pretty
At
much
least everything in
spread.
their summer home.
Yeah, you have to remember that was only their summer home. They still have a whole estate of their own.
It
Well,
is true.
admittedly, we fought very very because they were pretty much in the red in their money, weren't
No, but they just lost
Yeah.
the husband, so they're gonna get life insurance payout. They'll be fine.
they? Is life insurance a thing in this?
I don't
Well,
think it is.
probably not. And if it was, I don't think it covers act of cultist.
Yeah, that may. I swear to God, there was a spell that returns someone to original place in there.
What do you mean? Return someone?
Yeah, like if we're on a plane that isn't like their home plane,
Banish.
Oh, I mean, there's banishment, there's dismissal, there's
But there's like specifically one that wasn't very nasty. Maybe it's just
that
not on the
returns
wish list.
you.
Just think it returns a target. I might just be think of something else.
It might just be like dismissal because that's like dismissal isn't. It can be like you can choose to let it take you, like let it send you back.
Oh no, it's just not on the. It's just not on the witches list. There's literally a spell called Homeward Bound. Functions
Oh.
dismissal except noted above. One
Okay.
just returns an extra planar creature back to her home plane. But it's a 3rd level cleric, 4th level sorcerer wizard.
3rd level cleric?
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, then I could do it for you.
Okay. Well, it's not necessarily being done for me that is needed. It's just if we decided to be like, hey, let's go figure out what.
Yeah. 1 minute casting time, and it has to be on a willing creature.
Inevitably,
Okay.
it's gonna take fucking forever to get everyone back if you're doing it.
Yeah.
Actually, I could speed up.
Also, problem with that
Yeah.
I kind of don't like is that it says it functions as dismissal, which means it has dismissal's 20% chance of just dropping you in a random plane.
Okay, that's true.
Whoops, we missed.
Yeah.
At least one of us would end up in a random place. Probably either
I
me
mean,
or
statistically
Torin.
speaking, with no NPCs, that's 7 characters.
Did I get my double roll on that?
Yeah, it'll be either me or Torin that ends up in a random plane.
Yep.
By the way, Dark,
Okay, not the best.
Yeah.
if you're alright with it, during these 2 weeks downtime, I'll deal with the pink dot, and we can get together at some point during the week.
Okay.
Dark, at some point I would also maybe like to talk over the magical item thing since there's downtime now. We can probably figure that out a little more stress free.
Okay. Now, warning up front, I don't know if I'll be able to play next Saturday or not. I don't fully know.
Okay.
What's up?
Okay.
I'll have to get back to you on that if I can or can't. But
What's
so
up?
we may end up having actually 2 weeks of real life time as well, 2 weeks in game time.
Okay.
What's going on?
Just real world stuff
Okay.
with some co-workers.
Ooh.
Dark has a life. Can't relate.
Now it's Dark's turn for a date.
In fairness, I had that question asked. They're like, "Oh, why didn't you come to the party?" And they're like, "Oh, did you not see all the signs? We had a work party." It's like, no.
Yeah, it's a pending thing right now, so we'll see.
Okay. Okay.
Just let us know when you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yes, sideline.
No, if you're going to keep talking about other stuff, I was referring back to the game.
That's fine.
Mostly.
We can talk about the game.
Okay. All things considered, I was thinking about. I do like the idea with the dragon eggs, but as said, I can't imagine that's very monetarily beneficial. We kind of do need cash. We're kind of.
Dragon.
I have $5,000.
Well, we can get money. But we can do other things aside from get money. Is my point.
Yeah, there's the downtime actions for
We have
studying
a-
stuff.
J-Mac, why are you doing a summoning ritual?
We have a lot of downtime right now, so we can do things outside of stop being poor.
Well, yeah, but the do profession actions are not really.
No, Tommy, I mean Dark's more or less point out we can do stuff outside of one singular thing. It's more like planning out more effectively.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have time to do a lot of what we want just for ourselves.
Yeah, we have a lot of time right now. We're taking a very well-deserved vacation that's more lenient on things.
Vacation, we say, is we plan to go beat the shit out of stuff for a living.
I mean, that's a vacation.
I mean, that's a
compared
vacation
to,
for me.
to super
Fair.
life-threatening. Stop the summoning of a lich.
You mean we're not just all chronic workaholics?
Well,
No,
you
we're
say
not.
that.
I know you are, because you specifically on the one holiday we went and was like, oh, I'm just gonna fucking make a why don't I?
Hey, Josh. That has worked out beneficial for us. Where do you think I get half my information from?
Admittedly, could have at least took 2 days holiday.
If I'd taken 2 days of holiday, I wouldn't have had time to get things done. And I also didn't know it was going to take that long or go quite as badly as it did.
You just anticipate these things by now.
Since we have downtime.
In my defense, this was like the second time I had done something like that with Kelvis.
Rose, if you think of any commune questions that might be able to answer about the egg, feel free to fire them at me.
Yeah, I got you. Dark.
Yes.
Just so I get out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and roll Knowledge Religion on that now as well, since I'm taking more downtime.
Knowledge of religion on the burden of time.
Yes.
That, and also, yeah, any kind of bonuses from libraries and such that you want to go to.
Do you go to a library?
Yes, actually, that's a good idea.
That's what, a +4?
Yeah, you can get an extra +2 from the local library.
Ah,
Actually, it's
Not
plus
special
1 if you have a
education.
professional librarian. That's it.
Right.
Yes.
Well, that's 2 checks done.
If she was doing that, shall I just knock out one of my downtime actions to do the history?
May as well.
Yeah.
Just both of you go to the library to finish this up.
Let me check my buffs. Because Coral can aid me for the entire day. Next to his feet.
Hestia can also aid you.
Check
Hmm.
history.
Let me make sure. Yes, he does.
I guess she doesn't really
Since I'm using her, I should make sense for her to also. help
I
with
love the
like-
idea of Hestia just looking into like books.
BBD books, yeah.
She has giant glasses that help make it so you can actually read it, magnify it.
Love it. I have enough second level slots so I can cast an guest investigative mind for the entire day. Do I have any other bonus to?
I'm just imagining Hestia with those jeweler's loops that you look through to see finer detail on a gem. She just has a goggle that's just a pair of those, so she can read the text on small books.
Something that was also mentioned earlier, by the way, Rose.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it was mentioned about the worm witch who has oh god, James.
J-Mac, on the dot.
Got it.
You remember how I mentioned the worm witch who has to have the pile of coins as their familiar?
Yeah.
Or pile of shinies, I should say. Pile of loot. Treasure. I like the idea of just also just sleeping on a really big ruby.
Yeah,
But they
that'd be
just got a really
pretty-
big ruby under their pillow and that's it.
I mean, make more sense at least.
Make a ruby bed frame. That's what you need to do.
That'd
But
be
no,
fine.
I wasn't thinking ruby bed frame. I was just thinking more like they just stuffed like a ruby under their pillow for safekeeping, and that ruby's worth their entire.
Jeez.
A giant ruby, Jesus.
Like the princess and the
diamond.
pea.
It could just be a diamond.
I feel like a bed frame's better just because it like sucks less for sleeping on. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, the burden of time. The research is complete.
Yay, we did a thing. Or you guys did a thing.
Through your efforts, you have begun to uncover the secrets of what had been going on. As it appears up and down the Empire, it's now and again it's been happening. People's time being shifted. Many people losing time while others have been gaining it. Usually against their. Yeah, again and again, in almost all instances where you've seen this has happened, those individuals don't tend to last that long in their new state anyway. Seemingly just disappearing, though if that's the people doing it or what, wasn't clear. You've tracked down, though, the epicenter of all of this. What must have been causing it? To an old set of ruins, which I'm going to mark on the map.
That's where Calden's girlfriend ate dust.
Probably.
You are not wrong.
So I really like to go visit him and see if I can break thing on him.
Well, we could offer to bring him with us to fix this.
That's true, yeah.
It didn't work.
The only
He's
thing I'm
kind of got
scared
a heavy
about.
stake in it, so.
Yeah, but he's been reduced to tiny little baby boy. Even his
Oh.
magic aura was back to like first level spells.
It's
I mean, you're
fine.
not wrong, but we did work with him a little bit, and it's still there. Like he still does have a decent bit of his skill.
Also, this is presuming he hasn't also like disappeared like all the other people.
Well, I think we solved that part of it because didn't we find out that he wasn't changing anymore?
From what we've seen, but that wasn't a particularly long period.
I mean, yeah, but
No.
before he was rapid.
Also, we were like second level.
Yeah, I think with his lover dying, it kind of locked. He got
Yeah.
lucky early
No,
on.
we'll see. What
Yeah.
else do
Well-
we find out?
This location, an old and, well, it's been for a while considered a cursed ground, a cursed set of ruins. This has been going on for a while, but it's been accelerating. The first instance of this happening are very old, but over time it appears just little by little. It's been speeding up until recently where it sped up quite a lot, it seems. The site itself having been the disappearance of, well, having had the disappearance of quite a lot of people, quite a lot of explorers over time. The set of ruins in question happens to be an old manor house that's currently in ruin. But something about that place seems to be seems to be altering time slightly. And from what you're able to tell, possibly a leak to the astral plane may also be partly involved there. But to be honest, whatever's going on it's definitely not a natural event. This is a curse that's in place, one that's clearly targeting humans and draining more of their time than it's giving to somewhere.
Turns out it's feeding it to the Lich.
Woohoo!
But you have enough information if you want to proceed onto the mission.
So that's another proper option for us.
As you know where it is now, you have enough information that you could try tackling the mission.
I mean, it's an option. There might be Bhutan and Man's ruins, or if you want to
it's a very-
help them out.
It's a very rich ruin to be, so
Also, it's pretty local at least.
Yeah,
not
it's,
very
it's,
far away. It's true.
Like a day's travel.
yeah, we can just go there. Just have that. Just sweep down real quick. Finish that up.
Real quick, you say as we all get like 8.
Thrown through time
I
and
guess if it's
space.
only if it only works against humans, the only people really at risk are me and Reese.
Now, Adeline technically is. She's affected by things affecting humans.
And-
Except
and-
Extra note, by the way, arguably you're not affected because you have a spell that protects your age. Such alters it.
Ah.
which would mean just Reese, which means there's not a pair. Meaning,
I was also wondering if
I mean,
maybe
does-
the whole
does-
entire.
Does Reese count as human
He does.
for age purposes?
He does now.
actually, wait, no, there would be a pair because me and him.
I was wondering because I did obviously have that thing where I lost like.
Yeah.
I wonder
But
if
he-
I'd maybe fuck up with it.
Yeah, but he might be getting aged up while I get aged down. Which we've got a lot more going both ways in that sense.
And you definitely have a. Well, actually, do you count as human for age?
No.
Ben, yeah, you've got a lot.
I'm a sylph age. I'm just a humanoid human.
Meanwhile, Reese has a lot of years ahead of him.
Yeah, for effects.
Admittedly, if that works a 1-to-1 ratio, rest in peace, Reese. Jesus.
Yeah, if it did like.
As it stands, so you don't know exactly what's going on, but but there is clearly something doing this or someone.
I
Though
think we can-
whatever
we
that
can-
someone is definitely not a human themselves. You're taking a guess.
Yeah.
It's been happening way too long. Whoever's doing this is someone with a lot of time on their hands.
Literally.
Badum-tish.
I mean, in theory, unless someone's just stealing time for themselves,
Mum says it's my time on the turnstile machine.
could be someone's ploy to immortality, I suppose.
Potentially, yeah.
I know.
Instead
been
of going
sweet.
with a bloodbath like most people, they go with stealing people's age. Or it you know what they could be doing? It could be like they could be just generating magical energy from it.
But yeah,
Like
warning, chronomancy is an effect for that mission. It will be interesting.
God.
They could be doing like a thermoelectric generator thing. Have a hot thing on one side, cold thing on another. Make the generator in the middle.
It is an interesting point, though, you brought up Cowden, J-Mac.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on my mind after we went, hey, you can hit later, and then, oops, we forgot to contact him at all.
How much do you even remember about him now?
He was
I'm
ginger.
curious.
We remember some things. He was
Yeah, I
He was
remember
potentially
he
going-
was.
He was
I
at
remember he
night.
was. Yeah, he was at night. He had some magical proficiency. He stopped a lightning bolt with a shield, which was pretty fucking
Mhm.
impressive.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he wasn't just any knight. He was a royal knight, and he was up for one of the most prestigious things that he can get as a royal knight.
Which is a title he's now lost the chance of getting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which really, really sucks. It's unfortunate.
But yeah,
He had a
part of
lover
his
who was an
yeah,
archaeologist.
part of his
before.
training, though, allowed him to use his shield to deflect magic or even reflect magic.
Yeah, that's how he saved what's-his-face, even though, wouldn't really be honest from dying, who knows.
Well,
I
we
mean-
needed him to not die as part of like the book prophecies and stuff.
Yeah,
So
it was important for like Sora and Sophia to actually sort of get in power in their family, because I think if he died, something would have stopped him basically taking power. I think someone else would have gotten it, but by exposing him as like for his wrongdoings, they were able to take the power more directly and more officially, which helps.
So this is where I discovered that my PDF isn't saving.
No.
Yeah, it's something for the group to consider basically what mission you want to end up going on. I would like some heads up
Mhm.
before
Yeah.
the session day, but
Shall I
Yeah.
make a straw poll?
I would make
Yeah.
a straw poll so it
Yeah,
can
that-
be updated in real time.
Yeah, that'd probably be for the best.
you may have to end up doing compound straw polls or eliminate the weakest options.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
make it a multi-vote.
Well, that works. Multi-vote then, and just which option has the most votes?
We can cull them down as needed.
Yep, and then if there's
Um,
multiple that have the same number of votes, we can.
I will
Stick
say
those into single
we
vote.
unanimously want to do money in some form or another, so I would just kind of keep that out because we know for a fact what we're doing first and foremost
Yeah.
is looking for stuff that will yield us a considerable amount of money. So I'll look for the things that are a little bit more along the lines of like I guess an actual quest outside of just kind of looking for jobs.
Yeah.
In that case, what are we going to do for money then?
We'll talk to Dark about that, I imagine. I feel like he'd probably have better ideas as the options you might have, because we kind of don't really know what would actually yield us something, to be fair.
Well,
Yeah.
well, as far as getting money goes, I can give you over some stuff here then. So Felsgard would have lots of money. It's a dungeon crawl, so loot you can get.
Same as
The,
probably true.
the Nexus technically does have the option of having loot as one of the things you could get there. One of the really interesting it's a location with a coven of hags. Assuming you're going. I mean, actually, regardless if you go in violently or diplomatically on that. Assuming you get in one way or the other, there is a lot of potential ways of getting magic items there, both through creation, purchase, or otherwise.
Bargaining, yeah.
Yeah. The main thing is, of course, you're going to be consorting with the hags, and they might potentially, there's always fun there to deal with.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an option that's on the table.
That's why I'm.
Those are probably the three missions that actually have a good chance of getting money. The Ellenwind doesn't really have a good chance of getting money. Providence doesn't really have a good chance of getting money.
They're ones where there might be a chance, but we'll have to make that chance. Whereas, dungeon crawls will
They're more story than they are loot.
Yeah, story and networking basically.
Yeah.
Because I would like us to kind of make friends with the nobility of Ellenwind if
And
possible.
friends
People
are
who
their
can
own
control the weather.
reward.
Visiting Amaya's family could end up, but that basically you'd end up going to visit Amaya's family and like let's go out hunting monsters, everyone. Which
Yeah,
admittedly purely
possibly.
appeals to some people, but
Yeah, I mean, it's more than likely whatever Maya's got going on involves hunting monsters. That's just kind of the family business.
That's just what you all do for casual fun.
No, it's not just casual fun.
It's also formal.
yeah, it'll be somewhat up to you guys though to figure out exactly what you want to do. But yeah, I've told you though which ones are most likely to generate cash.
I think we could hit the aging one quick.
Yeah, it's local, really.
Yeah, it's very local. It's
It's not very vacation-y, but
No,
Yeah.
it's not. But I feel like
This is
we would have taken enough of a break to. We can handle this. It's probably not going to be.
I mean, it's like a haunted house, right? Like that's fun.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, no,
it's a work vacation. It's like working on your personal project whenever you're off work. It's still
Also,
work, but
this is more like gathering funds for a holiday.
yeah, that's also true. Our latest jobs haven't really been very
Profitable.
lucrative. Yeah.
Okay, it's up to you to figure out exactly what you want to do.
Yeah, we'll see how the votes go. I feel like most of us will agree with probably the Age of Time. If not, what's the other option?
Pretty much either Age of Time or the Dungeon Crawl, honestly. I feel like it's the most
It'll
logical
start
one.
You don't feel like negotiating with hags yet?
I'll probably spend my downtime actually visiting to go talk about that, but not right now.
And I mean, it's a useful thing for Essie in time because it will allow Essie to enhance her coven.
Yeah. But I imagine I also probably want to build up a reservoir of funds for before doing
You
that
also
as well.
probably might want your apprentices to actually be on standby and ready.
Yeah, preferably do it when Amon doesn't have his legs shattered.
Or when you get that additional coven member.
Still not
That
entirely
might
sure
be
if that was a
fun.
coven member.
Well, generally people have 4 aspects.
Well, I mean, for witches it's usually free.
Oh, is it?
Or 3, 5, 7.
It always has
there's
the
a-
odd number, which is
Yeah, but there's a big thing within kind of, well, real world and in-game witch thing of, like, the mother, the crone, the maiden, that sort of thing.
by the
Same
way,
thing
the
with
ma-
threefold
by
aspect.
the way, the maximum size of a coven is 13 members.
Of course.
sense.
upping.
Like Pathfinder actually has that as the fixed maximum you can get to, even with the expanded. Because there's a ritual for expanding a coven beyond 3 people. But the thing is,
Cool.
you can never go beyond 13 members.
Yeah,
If you ever get 13 members in a coven, some of the shit you can do is amazing.
yeah. I mean, after you get past 13, like a trichodecagram is already a pretty hefty pointed star.
Did
so-
you just pull that word out of your ass?
No, I know what a trichodecagram is.
Nerd.
Geometric nomenclature isn't that hard. It's a lot of repeating.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of repeating and adding on more prefixes.
Did we stutter?
Also, yeah, you cemented your nerd status again with whatever that last thing said.
Yeah.
Yeah, things you could do, for example, though, having a full-size having a 30-member coven, is use the 8th level create greater undead for free,
Right.
which allows you to create shadows, wraiths, specters, and devourers.
Yeah, which is silly strong.
Curse Earth spell, dominate monster,
Dominate monster is pretty.
greater prying eyes, wail of the banshee, and any other spell that's appropriate to the coven's theme.
So quite good because that also probably includes literally everything of a lower level.
In addition, you also get stuff like Magic Jar, Fairy Rings Retreat, Major Curse, Epidemic.
I bet various binding spells as well.
Yeah, it depends partly on what the hag is made up of, but
Yeah, and of course, if I want to have a proper coven, I'll probably actually have to go.
Well, they said there was a way that we could get to be having a coven without murdering a bunch of hags.
but you'd probably still have to negotiate with the hags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to go over together as a group, or just all going down to these straw?
I think it's mostly going to end up being the straw polls.
In
We're
that
all
case,
basically-
I am going to get off then.
Okie dokie.
Tinder.
Night, Tinder.
See ya.
Night.